I'm standing up. Well, I'm gonna sit down a few. All right. So this is quickly for earnings. This is something that I think because I've been, especially, I'm trying to hold on to my team, right? I've been looking at CRM for a very long time, guys. You guys know the times I've been trying to catch this, like here to go to 333. That didn't happen. Right now, with the bottom of the barrel again, defending a flag, holding on bottom, and we're exactly at 200 May, and they have earnings on Wednesday. So I'm using the 200 May and the fact that we're in a critical area to kind of do the math that we could, for earnings, for them to go bullish for the year, let's go to year, they need that 260. So I'm grabbing on from that 260 to say that currently we at 230. That's a $30 move. I think for earnings, they could even make it half or even to 260. Maybe we reject it, who knows? But I think earnings will be the last touch we need because there's a divergence going on. That's the last push we need to retouch the zone, even the last time. And you're telling me it's like a $16 move required? I think the math that that will be the required move to get there. So if you guys want to play earnings with me, I'll be looking at CRM half a year out or a whole year out. This is not a day trade. This is not a weekly 2 weeks because it doesn't move that nicely in the small time frames on the contracts. It's very choppy. So yeah, we could start off that. The YOLO for earnings. Earnings is on Wednesday. So let's get started. Well, let me sit down first. I'm like a pregnant woman right now. Ugh. I could barely sit down, but all right. I will try my best not to talk too fast because then I run out of breath. Still adjusting. Perfect. Okay, let me know you guys could clearly see my screen. We are going to cover tech, right? Couple of surprising moves. The market actually held better than what I expected. What did I say this week, right? I can't. Last week I told you guys, AMD, don't short no more. Go for calls. I said Amazon, don't shorting. Do calls for Amazon. I said Meta is gonna go exactly to two. Meta promised you guys 244. Sorry, 644. And Meta hit that 644 to the penny, right? So all those stocks that I gave you guys were correct. What else did I say? I say Apple, do not short Apple. I said Apple is not to be shorted unless Apple will lose at 270. That never happened, so this will never trigger puts or nothing. Nvidia, we said that Nvidia will lose 177. This one it's opposite from AMD and from Intel, actually. This was triggering downside. Which in fact, look, we did close under that 177, 180 area. You guys see that? So Nvidia did follow TA that is coming a little down. Let's see. Tesla was one that I was bearish on, actually. So I think that's the only one I'm wrong at. I was technically wrong in, but not fully wrong. I said maximum retest would be 430. We are at 430. So Monday, we're about to find out. This little zone I gave you guys for Tesla, we're gonna find out if this in fact was only a retest and we could take it back down, or if this is gonna retest a little higher, like $10 more. Okay, we find out Monday by this little quick zone. So that's the only one that bounced more than I expected to bounce. Everything else moved as expected. Intel, I think Intel was the one surprised me for this. Tesla, Intel. Tesla did a very high retest all the way to here, and Intel actually went bullish. Went hella bullish. So we're gonna start off with Intel. So we were pretty accurate last week asking, and then it's, you know what's funny, guys? Like, and we come from seeing the market fall down badly this past days, right? Badly. And then we're like, okay, at what moment do they start bouncing? At what moment it's not like a fake, you're not fake buying calls and getting obliterated, it keeps going lower and lower, right? And then when I was giving you guys TA, that all these stocks we're gonna bounce, I'm like, damn, like I'm really being like more than 60% of my list is saying that these stocks are really gonna bounce. And this stock is in the market still like on a retest zone. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, my stocks are telling me that we have to bounce. And then the ETFs are telling me they're like holding on for the life. right? That as long as they didn't go on the red line, that our stocks had the power to do that. So yeah, it was bold of me to call for a lot of bullish stocks last week, but look what happened. They all did what they had to do. All right, so let's look for Intel, the Ys, right? This one for Intel, since we don't have that much data for Intel, we're gonna go towards let me just paint a big picture though. For Intel, this is stock that was beat down. We're playing this range, right? So the maximum we'll ever get to is 46. I see us getting to 46 this week. Let's look. So that's it. Y center 46, bottom, top. If you zoom into this yearly one, oh, this 46 is where we fell off in the past. Back in January of 2019, right here, right? Right here, 22, and many times. All right. So now let's go back to current times. Guys, if you have any questions, just shout it out. There we go. There we go. Any questions, just shout it out. Let me know. All right, so current times, 4 months. We mentioned that this guy right here was going to be with the resources and a lie. So let's go to 2 months. Here we go. Cynthia, Y36. Y36 was the area that in the past, if you delete this red candle, right? If you delete this technically was heading towards breaking the trend and look, regaining this area to go to 67. But it was the break of this candle who destroyed the setup. So now current times, now fast forward after now, Intel has a lot of investments. We're coming back to test out that zone, right? That's all we know. The 36 is the most important level for Intel. Let's go to the month. Okay. And then not only that, on 36, we also noticed that last month's candle, this one, top to bottom, the bottom of it was 33, right? So when Intel was falling, we said that if Intel will lose 36, we'll get to 33, and this area will be a strong bouncing area. But as we were consolidating this weekend upside down, if we would have broken 33, we would have triggered 31, maximum 29. And I said this does not fall lower than that, right? I said what they're going to end up doing, they're gonna head and shoulder this area. And that is the last momentum we need in order to rip through to get to 46, right? I never said that Intel is gonna be destructed, nothing of that. I said, hey, Intel is gonna come for a cool down to finish the last 46, right? So what these people did, this is when the catalyst came in, right? So the catalyst that Intel had to rescue this one, right? The monthly, look, right? The monthly, was that they are going to be producing Apple's chips. Let me read. Richard sent me the info. Let me see exactly what he sent to me. Because you guys know Richard's on top of all of this. I find out what the stock is moving. I'm like, why are we moving so fast? Like, I know it has to do this, but why is it moving so fast? All right, Richard said, Intel expected to begin shipping Apple's lowest end M processor as early as 2027. Okay. Apple, you guys know any partnerships is bullish. All right, you guys know that that's bullish, right? Like working with the big techs, and know that Intel's under the government's wing now, so they're gonna make sure they get the best contracts. Long story short, right? So now currently Intel is above last month. The enemy that we've been having now is this bearish engulfing from the past, right? This 43-ish. Let me go to weekly to get a better 43-ish. I think we could see it better here, right? So right now, this one has engulfed here. We did the bounce. This was a target for the shorts, and worst case scenario would have fell here, and for sure would have been a bounce. But these people grabbed from here, they grabbed the monthly bounce, and we ate that. And I said, if we reclaim 36, we're back to bullish. This would have been on bearish zone in this category. We would have gone here, rejected, came right back down here, right? Which it was looking like it was going to do that. And now we're here. So the retest now for Intel becomes 38.70, and I'm still holding my leads, by the way, for Intel. So we are holding 38.70 as retest. Now, you guys look to the left, look at this, bearish engulfing. So Monday, this is what's gonna give us a hard time. If Intel can go above 40.82, you got your 43.80. And lastly, it will be 46, and that'll be a wick and reject. And that's what I see them doing, nothing more than that. That is Intel. That's it. This week we were stuck in this range right here. We have fallen this, so I was like, If we fell from this range, we could, if this range breaks, we're definitely coming down, but the rest here right there, bottom, 50 MA, take it and go. All right, that is Intel. Next one's AMD. I am bullish on AMD. Why? AMD, let's look at the yearly work, right? So AMD, everything that matters from here. By the way, the monthly shows close. Like right now with the 29, right? So there's no more of it. So now we have the next 30, 31 days to make sure that AMD can hold above 147. If we're able to secure 147 for the year, this will be a multi-year run-up, okay? What do we mean? We mean for the next 5 years, AMD will be ripping, and any destruction of AMD will always be stopped out by 147. Okay, this is for the future, guys. This is swings long term. This is not like some intraday move to move. No, we're talking about AMD to 300. Oh, guys, repeat that. If AMD ends of years holds 147, mark my words, you will be seeing AMD in 300s. Okay, so if you have your shares, if you're building leaps, that's a target, 300. If we get this into close, which I do think so. All right, so that's it. That's what the big boys are looking, right? Like this is what Wall Street are looking like. Meanwhile, traders are looking for the small time frames. This is what the big boys are looking for. The billions of dollars, millions here. You guys know the Saudis are deep into AMD. All right, so now let's try to see where we're getting the rest of the levels. 4 months, not much going on. 2 months. Okay, the 2 months we're seeing something, right? Which explains this with price action. Why did I say, okay, so this is the thing, right? Sometimes like people just short blindly and don't know when to stop, right? Because the moment that people catch a short, they're like, okay, the market's a bubble, destruction, 2008 repetition, right? This is what people think when they short, that they're gonna hit it big. But when you short it, you need to understand that obviously the best entries are from the top. But when you short it, you need to know when it's enough. You gotta get out and switch sides. Even if the switch sides that bounce is gonna be, let's say that it's not the reversal to the all-time highs, but because it's a very key level, buyers will be very aggressive. They're not gonna let you take it down like you think you're gonna go from here all the way to 147, like nothing now. Why 192? All right, so now we're in a 2 months candle, right? If you guys see that this candle broke out, if you look to the left, which is here, let's delete real quick. If you look to the left, this candle broke out, right? It's like a flag. You guys by now should know how to trade a flag. And then the top of this is a 192. So when price came down from the sell-off, we shorted AMD from the top. Look at where did it go? 192, 194-ish. Very, very close, right? 192-ish, 194. So then that is why you guys need to understand why I stopped shorting. I say, guys, we are done shorting AMD. I don't care. I say I'd rather go short a Tesla or an Apple than go short AMD because those are extended versus AMD being at bouncing areas, being defended by the top of the flag. It just doesn't make sense for me to short even more. All right. So now what is current price, right? So now this is being support, resistance is the top. Let's go to the monthly now. Same picture, right? What the 192-ish, and we're fighting with this. Now let's zoom in a little more. Now we have the weekly, right? Now you can see a clear picture. Why? Where's Shade? I miss Shade right now. Where is she? All right, so now we have the 192. This is the monthly, and then to the left, there's the weekly here, right? So I went ahead and highlighted the area. I say when you're reaching these bouncing areas, you need to understand if the weekly and the monthly are very close. I'm definitely gonna highlight them because somewhere in that little highlighted areas where the buyers will come very strongly, and that's exactly what happened, right? And how did we score those massive puts for AMD? Because AMD broke 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks of consolidation, which allowed us to short this like butter, like more than what, 20, 30, almost 40-point drop. That was almost a 40-point drop, guys. Jesus Lord. And then we said stop. And now we are here, right? So for the weekly, we noticed that AMD is closing above this guy. So as long as AMD can hold above 114, we could levitate to maximum 232. 232 is going to be very hard to regain because this is where we fell off from, right? Multi-week drop. So the maximum retest right now we could do is 232. So as long as AMD can hold 214, we got 226, 232. maximum retest, like I said, I don't know if it's gonna go higher, but that area, if you're close, you take a lot of your gains and you wait and see what's gonna happen. All right, that's that. Let's go to small time frames. And they tricky, right? And I need you guys to recognize this little move that the market's doing, right? Why this little move? Amazon did it. Um, Amazon did it. Meta did it. AMD did it, right? The first time that AMD bounced like this, it was too easy, right? Would have been like, oh, 214, let's go to 32. But these people, what they did is like, nah, let's get them out. Because the bigger the move, the faster they need to get you out before the move. So what they did, little bearish engulfing, and they retested the range again. You guys see that? And when it was red, what did I tell you guys? I said, don't worry too much about that, because as long as the red line holds, what they're going to do, they're going to try to double bottom the same way Amazon did. Did I say that or did I not say that? I could replay the video where I said that, right? Hey, welcome, Cree. So yeah, when this dropped, because it was holding above here, we knew that this still had a chance to bounce, right? So from here, we were saying that we were watching the 200 May at a 214, and we needed price to start engulfing here, right? So the way price closed, we closed above 214. So now, as long as this guy holds, we have to retest here and maximum here. And look, by no coincidence, at 232, we will also retest the trend. We could drop from there, maybe, maybe not, but I do think that this could hit that 232. And that's that. Let's see in the daily how it looks. Yep, it's starting to enter the area. Like you can see 232, right? Look at these bottoms. So yes, AMD, I am still bullish in AMD. I think with 232 can be retested. The only way AMD can go bearish on the 192. 192 follows 147, right? So as long as it's holding here, still can bounce. There's also divergence there. That is AMD. Let's go to Meta, because I think a lot of people were like wild about Meta. How the hell did we cook this to perfection? And how, Cynthia, the question will be, Cynthia, how do you know, right? Like somebody like Glenn, right? Because Meta is something you send me a couple of times, because we know that Meta is a good company, is a key area, so it's a waiting game. All right, so the key area, when does it bounce? When does it bounce? And why did I decide to not only say like, hey, Glenny, you send me Meta, let me review it, this is what it looks, versus actually say, guys, this is part of this class and it's gonna bounce, and I promise you guys 644, right? At what points does that conversation change of I think versus I know it's going to happen? So with Meta, let's go to the yearly. Let's solve the mystery. How does the yearly look? All right. So for Mr. Meta, the yearly sits at 585, right? So it says that as long as 585 holds, this technically is on a yearly breakout, right? If we break down from here, we open nasty puts, maximum 351 one day, right? But that's not true unless we ever break it. So we are holding. So let's see what happens at 585. Let's keep going small time frames. Go to 6 months. On the 6 months, we only retest the bottom of this candle, right? This is one day gonna go to 1,000. I smell it, I see it. Let's go to 2 months. Yeah. On the 2 months right now, technically it's fighting with a little shoulder, nothing crazy, which is there. Now, do I have enough information to say that Meta can go to 738? I don't have that. I don't have information regarding that. What I am noticing that on the monthly, if you look to the left, there's this massive green candle, wick, and then a red candle. So this is my only shoulder, I would say, which is at 673 bottom. And then the top is a 690. Okay, that's the most I have when it comes to like knowing the green to the red levels. So most likely it's gonna go higher. Now let's go to the wick. How do I know, right? The way I know is how price starts behaving at these levels, right? So if I know that, look, 595, 585, sorry, and then 585. So I went ahead and marked the prior weeks, the candle, the only candle that was pinned to this level. And I said, anything past this candle is that you're bullish. And any candle that goes inside, it's like, it's cooking up. So what I like to think of it like is like when you sliding down like a slope, right? And it's time for you to go back up. Do you just run back up, or do you gotta like pick yourself back up? Like you sliding down the slope. You gotta stand up, pick yourself up back up, and arrange yourself to climb the slope again to try to come down, right? So that's what I'd be looking for. When I see price at the 585s, like the Amazons and stuff like that, I'm looking for price dancing around here. What do I mean by dance this? That is dropping and is holding, dropping, holding, dropping, holding, dropping, holding. That's it. And this was Monday, right? And when I gave it to you guys, I noticed all this behavior showing up above the 585. That's why it matters at what level this does. Is this doing this in any other random level? It's not that significant. But because it's doing that, I put that little dance that I'm tired. I'm about to pick myself up type of dance. And then that's it. The 608, anything past there, you engulf in these little guys, you enter in this candle, and you're gone. All the way to 644. And we made it to the penny. And we even closed a little higher than that. So now you guys, and it even makes sense, right? If you look at the daily right here, this setup completely fell down after it broke down from here. By no coincidence, if we go to the left, didn't we get this area highlighted from the left side, from this zone? By no coincidence, that's exactly also when the pass fell. And then we're about to retest, and the 200 MA is sitting right there. So it makes sense for this to levitate there. Now, I don't have enough information for me to tell you guys that we're going to get above it or reject. I don't. I just know we're going to get there. And once you get there, your job is to watch what happens. If they reject it, you know where we go down. We're going to go to 6.4 again. If we get past that, we open the top of the zone, which is the 50 MA to 690, right? So yes, if you did not catch Meta was elite, perfection. This is what good TA looks like, right? And this one to perfection. Nothing fought against us. You still Meta, same. But yeah, and I even grabbed leaps from Meta. I'm like in Meta 2027s. Because I'm like, what's the worst that could happen if I'm wrong? And that's also how I buy my contracts, right? I'm like, all right, if I'm wrong, they lose this. And I know I'm wrong. But if I'm right and it enters here, any resistance has to hold here, and those sleeps should be all right. That's it. And then you use a little of the knowledge you already have, right? Like, Carl said he's in June 2027. Period. Yes, that's an amazing contract because June's gonna move fast enough. It's gonna be fast enough for you to take profits. But yeah, guys, yeah, Carl said that's a really good contract, actually, really, really good. But that's it, guys. That's as simple as this. So what do you take away from here? Okay, so next time you see a stock that is beat down and dancing at the monthly, at that yearly level, especially now that we're getting closer to the end of the year, they start doing this little bounce anywhere near the weekly and monthly. You already know. You're like, it's worth my shot because look, this candle engulf 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 days of consolidation. So why wouldn't it go? You know? So that was Meta. Meta is that girl. I still see Meta going to 673. Any retest, I think it's gonna be this zone right here. Let's get to the 4 hours. They're gonna retest most likely this. You see this flag right here, and then this consolidation. Maximum will be like 631. If they're gonna be assholes and really make us cry, 621. Nothing lower than that. Oh, look at the 4 hours. Look how we entered the 50 MA. And now the levitation will be in the red zone. It starts making sense, guys. Look, it starts adding up. All right, that is Meta. Ooh, we're doing good. Amazon. All right, with Amazon, it's a little different because now we have news for Amazon, right? With Amazon, it's out of all the ones that we mentioned, a lot of them are tech, some of them are social media, so on and so forth. But Amazon hits right with December. December is when the most yearly retail sales are for Christmas, correct? Christmas and New Year's. So who's the big boy of that? Amazon. So let's look at Mr. Amazon. What is Amazon cooking? Same, guys. The sauce is the same. We need to know what's going on the yearly. All right, so now we know if you go to the left, there was a massive flag here that we broke out, and this was a breakout. From this breakout, these people retested this breakout with a max being 151. And as long as this guy held, this candle was still valid. And this is how we call Amazon from the floor, right? So now current times, it says that that's why it says 12 BK. It say as long as Amazon can hold 219, Amazon will close bullish for the year. So that means, guys, from here to the end of December, 219 is the only level we have to guard. We're not far from that level, right? So that's if you're a leap holder, if you're a shareholder, 219 is the baby for you to guard to December. If that happens, you'll be holding your leaps because we have a continuous continuation of a yearly breakout. And then how many years did it broke out? 1, 2, 3, 4. And we only had one yearly breakout and a retest. So this still has more to give. We're talking about same 300, but 300 like fast by, I'll say by March, this could get there to 300. Yeah, by March, somewhere in there. Before the first quarter ends. There we go. Before the first quarter. All right. So now all the information that matters here is 219. Let's go keep on dissecting, right? It's like doing like a zoom in, zoom out. 219 is still important. Texting at this time that I'm busy. All right. So 219 is still important. Let's go to 4 months. 219, cool. And then 219 above, we have 229. So what is it saying? It's saying that Amazon right now, as long as it holds above 229, it's on the second part of the yearly breakout. That's what it's saying. It's not saying retest. It's not saying nothing like that. It's saying she's bullish. Let's go to 2 months out. On the 2 months, we're dancing above this candle. So this is support 229. And as long as we hold here, somehow we can go back to 223. So let's go here. 229 is the base. The next area, there's another one here, 234, 238. So let me draw this little one. I don't usually draw this, but I'm gonna draw this only because I see 2 levels going through it. I'm seeing this, and a wick, and we kind of around there. All right. So that is that. You guys should understand where this key levels are coming from. Let me make it a little bolder because this is more important. All right. So now let's go to the weekly. Sheesh. So now we have a response for Amazon. Amazon went to 219. We shorted Amazon from the freaking top, guys. And at 219, what did I say? I said, stop shorting and grab calls. Did I not say that? I told you guys I was grabbing calls. All right, so why was the best time, right? We know the 219 is the area. Aside from that, we also had the 50 EMA on the weekly hugging this as support. Whenever we have these two guys, they work as super support. All right. So currently we are inside this 229, but we're not quite engulfing this guy, right? So that means that we're gonna need to get past 234-ish for the next move, 234, 237. So I'm seeing a 237 touch. So let's see, what does that mean, right? Why is this area highlighted in red? That this area is highlighted in red because if you guys recall, when I told you guys to short Amazon, is the day that Amazon broke down from here and it started doing this bullish engulfing. And I said, guys, that is not a bullish engulfing. I said, that's a range. The reason it was a range, it was because it was short at the bottom of this breakdown. So it was just a range. It was not a bullish engulfing. If price would have gone above it and reclaimed this red line like Intel did, then it would have gone back to bullish. But this was bearish because this ended up breaking this range at 233. And we said 233 takes you all the way to 219. And we destroyed Amazon. Look, from here, 219 hit. I say, get out the puts. Grab some calls. From 219, we're all the way at 233. Even here, this is why levels are important. Look at even on Thursday, right? No, Thursday, Wednesday. They try to bearish and engulf this to make you think it rejected. But this what happened at 229. And what happened the next day? Higher, right? That's why your levels are very important. As per the 4 hours, they're squeezing this one out. So what do I expect? Because we rejected from this area the first time it got destroyed, they're gonna pin this to 33 to 29. If we tomorrow, for example, we open gap down, not tomorrow, Monday, gap down. As long as that gap down is 229, it's not a bearish gap down. It shows a range. It's dancing a range. And as you can see, the 200 May is holding price right 229. 1 second. Um, but my bad. My husband was getting home. The dogs get excited. All right. So I see them pin us down because this is the area that we rejected on the prior week, right, when we destroyed it. So you guys know whenever there reaches a breakdown, it's a hard time. Now, let's say that, but we also got to talk about downside. If this guy will do up and down, and it loses the battle to 229, you could take puts again. Puts levitating to 224 and 219 again. Why would I now say that? Is because when you're retesting a hard area you broke down from and you reject from it, that means the stairs. Yeah, remember the stairs we talked about? It will be stairs, under the stairs, and come down to form another stair, right? But as long as we don't break down from here, because of how the 4 months look, because of how year looks, if this guy enters 234, you could believe that yes, 234 is going to give you 237. 237, another fight. Ding, 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 until you get past the next 243. So yes, guys, Amazon is in a juicy now range that they're going to do it as long as the range of 229 is held. It is bullish. This one only goes bearish if it loses this and goes back here. That's about it. So we should see more of a continuation for the upside. All right, guys, we're almost done. Tesla. Tesla, if you have your shares, if you have your leaps, you fine. But when it comes to intraday, just be very careful with Tesla. That's not, you see, I pick and choose who I'm going to be bullish. Tesla's not something I would trade for the bullish side, even if it goes. That's not, because in this market psychology, right? You got to go with things you're comfortable with playing versus things you're not comfortable, right? So let's look at what Tesla's doing. But you guys are like day traders, you guys are good. All right, so Tesla, the yearly low before Tesla is 403. Same math we just finished saying about everybody else. As long as Tesla can hold 403, the buyers can still rescue this and take it back to whatever high they want. So the key level is 403. At the 6 months, 403 is also a multi-month month breakout. Let's go to the 4 months. Same. 2 months. Same. And it's saying that this is support 403, resistance is 456. So now let's look at the monthly. Why this area is highlighted, right? This is the area that was bearish engulfing here. And it's the retest will be somewhere in that zone. So now we have no more levels. Let's go to the weekly. For the weekly, I went ahead and highlighted above 239 to 256 in red. Because if it wasn't for this candle right here, you guys see this red candle, Tesla technically would have been a flag that would have been ongoing breakout, right? But the one who destroyed Tesla was this guy, 439. As per the retest that we had this month, Tesla in fact bounced for 403. And it gave us a max retest of this half of the bearish engulfing, which is 430, right? And if Tesla can go past 430, then you get 439. Do I see it past that? I don't think so. I don't think so. This is a very strong level. But like I said, it's all up to price. If it goes above that, your bias out the window. You're like, fuck it, it did it. 2, 5, 4, 5, 6 up next, right? So now how do you know what's gonna happen here, right? Because Tesla is right there. We're gonna go to the smaller time frames. Here we go, right? Tesla, that level is fighting with the 50 MA and it's fighting with this guy. So if I see that this bear flag, so Tesla's fighting with it, right? So Tesla going under 14, is that bearish? Not really. But if Tesla is able to come down for 423, be careful with Tesla, because we understand what 430 is, right? It's a retest of that drop. And look at this red candle. You never want to start entering this red candle. So Tesla, let me put alert. If Tesla hits 423, that's puts down to 43 again. If Tesla's dancing here, that's Tesla she's doing inside moves that is normal. Tesla holding above 430 and never breaking down 430 means Tesla can give you 439. Okay, so Tesla's in a so-so area, in a decisive area. All right, that's it for Mr. Tesla. Let's look at Nvidia, and that's the last one. Yes, I'm debating if I'm gonna give you guys the pre-report of the small stocks or just knock it out. I'll see. All right, Nvidia, who is she? Same guys, same for big little stocks. The key level for Nvidia is 134. It's saying if at the end of the year, we're able to close above there, we continue a multi-year breakout. Even if the following year something happens to the market, they need to retest. It's saying as long as 134 holds, that will always be where the buyers are going to attack and they grab leaps. So it cannot go under 134, right? So that's the good news. Let's go to 6 months. Okay, the 6 months price is getting a little tighter, right? We have 158. Okay, and currently we above it, so it's on a breakout. So let's go to the 4 months. 134, 158. Let's go to the 2 months. Okay, for the 2 months right now, this is the candles being fought. If we go under this, we're gonna get the bearish engulfing. So this is what we're guarding for the end of this month. If this guy does a bearish engulfing, you open probabilities of retesting this flag, right? And we don't want that. I don't really care because Nvidia long term is bullish. You buy those dips. Nvidia is one that you buy dips, right? So if it goes there, just grab more leaps, guys, and don't look at them until AI is a thing, right? At the rate that we're going, it's like move soon. All right, so let's go to the monthly now to get some levels. Yeah, this monthly doesn't look accurate. 174. I think I got it from 2 months. I got it from the 2 months. So, okay, 2 months. All right, the fact that this 2 months is shown right in between here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna draw a range. So I know that these 2 months are very close to each other, right there. All right, so now we are here with current times. There is 9 information, so let's go to the weekly. Here we go. So we had said the prior weeks that we had a video with a bearish engulfing here. As long as price was inside of here, it was okay. Because this week, we say if Nvidia breaks down from 187, you're going to get 180 and lastly 174. Nvidia did that. And Nvidia this week closed under the prior week. So Nvidia to go for a retest of 187 again, she will need a retest of above 180. If Nvidia cannot get past 180, right here, she has more of up, down. And if she ever breaks 174, we get more downside for her. Maximum 158, nothing lower than that. I don't see Nvidia lower than 158, okay? But now, if Nvidia enters 180, she's temporarily bullish, okay, temporarily. Now, if you scare Nvidia here, if you scare here, if Nvidia were to reclaim 187, she's back. She's back because she's going to reclaim this and she goes right back to where originally she fell off. Okay. So Nvidia is more on the bearish side, but not too bearish because you haven't broken this level. We're right the monthly like every other stock, right? And that's it. Nvidia here, you close a retest to the upside, 7 points up. And if you get past this one, you go here. But if Nvidia cracks down from here, we're coming down. So let's look how that looks. Nvidia is like consolidating. That's not, she hasn't told us nothing yet. By no coincidence, look how the 50 MA is waiting for Nvidia at 58-ish. You guys see that? So when I see this guy's doing that, I'm like, that's how I know that 158 is a maximum it could pull down to because of that. All right, guys, that is Mr. Nvidia. Like I said, if she drops here, do puts to this zone. If Nvidia engulfs this guys, then you could do intraday. Intraday, that's it. If Nvda gets past here, do a couple months out. All right, guys, that summarizes the whole TA. We talked about CRM, that it's not a day trade. That's like a YOLO for earnings and share buy. Like, even before buying those leaps, guys, just buy shares and call it a day. There's no reason y'all gotta be cracking your head about these options. So just buy the shares, CRM, call it a day. There's one more worth talking. I haven't charted Bitcoin yet, but the buts, right? You guys could start paying attention to. I'm not a breakdown from the. Man, is it worth breaking down from? All right, cut that through. Coin, shoulder, head, shoulder, 255. I mean, yeah, 255, right? It's holding the shoulder. Let's go to the 6 months. And the 6 months right now, it looks very bearish, like everything's collapsing, but it's not. All they doing is retesting the bottom of this 255 because that's the power they need to be able to break through this guy. This is the enemy right now. So you need that slingshot to push you through. That's it. That's it. So it doesn't look that good from the bottom though, but let's look at this is like Intel, right? It didn't look like it until the buyers came in. All right, so now let's 4 months. It needs to get past 308 right here. That becomes 308. So that means that if this one will reclaim 308 is on, it will be gone. Like this will be contracts that move fast. Some type of news will happen. If this one ever cracks 304, you're going to 381, like in a matter of no more than 3. Oh, wait. All right, so now let's keep going because we're not there, right? We're fighting to get past, 304, it takes you back. All right, let's keep going. Maximum 304, I think right now we could test at 304. Okay, so now we understand where 255 came from, right? Now we understand where 304 came from. Let's go to the weekly. All right, per the weekly, this one got destroyed. It's at the 50 MA. I'm seeing it dancing at the 255, but this is not enough. This is not enough. I need minimum for me to feel strong about buyers. You need to start going minimum of the weekly. So I think that 284 would trigger that max retest to 304. And 304 is a waiting game. If it gets past 304, you know what to do. If it rejects from 304, you know that you're going to be pinned down to 255. And that is coin. Let's look at coin. By no coincidence, on the daily, look what the daily's at the 200. 284. So would it make sense if you reclaim the last stairs? Remember, everything's stairs. Matter of fact, this is how Nvidia looks right about now, like similar to this. Guys, if Nvidia hits that 158, don't ask me anything. Cynthia, do you saw your pussy? Buy leaps. Buy leaps and talk to me in 2027 how those leaps are doing, okay? 158. Nvidia hits the 158, guys. Oof. Because a lot of these stocks have done that move. Nvidia is the only one that has not. And like I said, I don't have a crystal ball in the market, but I use the rest of the stocks as a reference of what the possibility of another stock doing, especially in the same sector, right? Yeah, guys, set alert for this one here. If it's dancing here, we don't care for it. It's still part of the dance. Shoulder, head and shoulders, maybe. But this is like a little, it's cooking. Can we look at EOSE? Okay. This ends the part of the tech stocks, okay? I don't feel bad. I still feel good. Do you guys want me to finish knocking out the smaller stocks? The smaller stocks would be Target, Starbucks, Exxon, NEE, UPS. Y'all want it now? And that is going to tie up with EOSD. Y'all want it now or y'all want it later? Yes, please. Select. I got you. Select. All right. So this concludes the tag, which this is what people usually come to the market or come to my classes because this is what people trade, right? So there's multiple opportunities, guys, to continue catching calls. And if the market if this whole bounce is a fake, bear, it's like a bull trap, y'all know who to go for. Yeah, y'all could go for the Apples, the Teslas. Tesla will be the first one on my list. The Apples, the Teslas. If Meta rejects, if Amazon will reject. The rest, leave them alone. Like that AMD, I wouldn't be playing with it. You and Apple Coast. Apple's still looking good. Like Apple's not giving me short signal yet. But I'm telling you guys, if Apple does that drop, I'm not letting go of the puts. But it's not. Right now I'll be fighting it, right? I need Apple. If Apple gives us, okay, because this will happen. This will happen, right? If one day you guys are not in class or whatever happened to you guys, but you guys are smart enough to send an alert at 264, if Apple ever cracks down for there, grab the puts because you're gonna get a $24 drop to the penny. It's gonna go there, then it's gonna bounce. But like I said, because I'm a little aggy sometimes, if I don't catch the calls, I leave it alone. If I see it to extend it and I didn't catch it, I'm like, yeah, let me go to somebody that's beat down at that I could actually catch it, right? But does this mean it's bearish? No, it's still holding. So I just didn't catch it for the bottom, so I want nothing to do with it because I didn't catch it. All right, guys, let's knock out the other ones. It's pretty fast. So Target, Glenny, actually you said to continue, right? Target's one, me and Glenny we've been fighting with for a minute now, right? Target has not been easy. And because the stocks are beat down, they're not going to be easy because the recovery is going to be a nice one. Let me give you guys a reference too. Actually, Richard, you should know what I'm talking about. It was a Christian. This is stuff we were talking about for a while, talking about buy shares, buy leaps, buy shares, buy leaps, because it's something you guys were always asking me for, right? And when I was eyeing this was looking like this. Remember that double bottom they like to create? And with the MA was there, and I was like, yeah, guys, if this 35 holds, yeah, we're going to go to 41, they're going to ding, 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 and then it's going to blast off. And the moment you blink, everything Cynthia said will happen, happened. Go, and you could go back to classes because everything's labeled. Go back to when we're talking about BRKR. Look, bullish engulfing, the little bottom that creates you entering. And from 35, this freaking thing is at almost 50. Look, while the market's collapsing, look what this damn stock is doing. Ain't that some shit? That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes you gotta say, listen, this stock, excluding what the craziness of market is doing, like this stock has a potential to reverse. And that's what Target, I think, is doing. All right. So it has a little double bottom that I like. So let's go to, okay. So Target, we know that Target has been beat down. There's a lot of controversy wise. There's many reasons why. Is that the controversy, also thefts. Like Target has too much thefts, internal and external thefts, so it doesn't help the revenue. So why do I like in the yearly? What I like to see in the yearly is that price is dancing in the zone of a last flag, right? So it's saying that based on this, the flag posted all the way to 76. So let's go to the 6 months. 6 months, now we have something, right? We have some levels. 87. 87 is the bottom of this massive green candle and the top of the flag, right? So it's saying as long as you could put 87, you could retest this whole candle, which is to 128. That's a lot of money. That's a 20% move. So now let's go, keep on. Like I said, when the stocks are beat down, don't worry too much about like the true idea of the company. If you agree, doesn't agree, go by the setup. Everything that's beat down eventually has to bounce, even if they want to keep on destroying it. All right, so for Target, why have we been looking at this for a while, right? This little bounce they do it. You guys see that what I was talking about Meta, that this bounces, that it starts doing, rejects. Okay, like you see this rejection even at 106, rejects and gets stopped down, then starts bouncing and bouncing, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and highlight this monthly, the 95, right? Once you start getting past the 95, you're engulfing and you're starting to enter this one with a retest. Remember, bottom, but okay, think of AMD's bottom to retest that area, the 106. I think the target can get to 106. Let's go to the weekly. All right, the weekly, we start seeing a better picture. Look who's there waiting for me at 106. All right, we have ongoing bullish divergence. This price keeps doing new low, gets picked up, and look at the RSI. higher and higher. So the RSI is holding as a support, not letting it free fall to, I don't know, 70s, I guess. So this week we closed with a bullish engulfing, but we need this bullish engulfing. It's a good sign, right? It's a good sign. Triple bottom, inversion and shoulder maybe. But we need this guy to enter this 91 zone. If we get the 91, we could get 96. Who's 96? Remember the monthly? Sorry, 95. Sorry, 95. And if you get past 95, we got 99. 99, they're going to slap us around like because of this guy right here. If we get past 99, 106. 106, we get destroyed again. So this one is worth, look, and this is one is worth buying the shares, right? What's the worst that could happen? So I would say 83, put a stop loss at 83. And mind you, we've been doing this, guys. We're like, buy shares again at every bottom. And just say, all right, what's the worst that could happen? If I'm wrong, we lose this low. And eventually, they're probably even going to reclaim that. But if we're right, we could catch this as a full 20% rally. But if you're wrong, how much are you falling? $3, $5 maybe? That's not bad. In my book, everything that when I try to catch the stocks, I think of risk to reward. Probability of me being right versus wrong. All right, that's it. Look at the daily. Look at the daily. It's cooking. It's cooking. Look at that flag, right? The flag with a divergence with volume backing it up. It's just trying. It's trying. All right, that is Mr. Target. Let me look at the 2-day candle. Let's see. That is Mr. Target trying to do that thing. Not ready yet. All right, next one, similar, UPS. You guys know that we were excited about UPS the prior weeks. Since then, she actually has been holding strong. Okay, let's look at UPS. She's doing that inversion and shoulders type of move. All right, 12 months. We've been bullish on UPS because it's 85 to the left. Holding it is, this was beat down. And when it comes to UPS, we're using common sense, right? We know we're in an era of everything's online. Oh, look, UPS and Christmas. We're in an era that everything's online and you can buy all you want for online, but it needs to get to your reality of home, some type of way, right? And that's where delivery services come in. All right, so here we have support still being 85. We had at the bottom of this one as a room forever as somewhere bouncing zone. So that's all we have here. Let's keep going to 2 months. Okay, 2 months. This one is starting to enter the bear flag. You guys see this bear flag that broke down here? We're starting to enter. And not only we enter, we're not cracking down from there. Look, comes down, picks up. And if we're correct, I'm only going for a retest of this drop right now. But I think this will be a reversal. But let me be humble. Look at the volume this time, something to have, right? Let's call for 118 because that is where it broke down. Look. Right? Okay, 118. Let's go to the monthly. That 118 is a bear flag. So, okay, it's marked 109. Okay, cool. We understand that. So we are here. Shoulder, head, shoulders. We're trying, our current enemy is going to be the 100. So we're 95. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. $5 move. All right, we're fighting, guys. Consolidation, and we're closing above. Why are we not surprised? Because if you look to the left, if what happens to the left happens to the right. Ding, 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 ding. Grab the power to retest this zone right here. 99, they're going to give us a hard time. Oh, that's why. Look, last time this rally, it went to 99 and it got pushed back down. And it says you're not ready to get past this level. So you need to bring all your buyers, get your money up to be able to open the doors for here. You got to pay the bouncer here. You got to pay the bouncer here. So it makes sense, right? Now price starts making sense. Okay, why is it consolidating? Because it doesn't have power to go here. It knocked once. It said you're not ready, right? So bring the buyers to get to 109. 109, 118. All right, guys. This is something worth buying shares, and you can put a stop loss to 88-ish. 88-ish. Divergence will hold price up. That is UPS. And this one you could do leaps, right? Because we're the bottom of the barrel. What's the worst that could happen? We're talking about 2020. Anytime I say leaps, guys, I'm talking about 2027 and June. I'm not talking about March, April. Those become more like, we call it kind of intraday, regular trading, regular swings. But the leaps will be, Carl said you UPS 2020. Yep, that's an amazing contract. Because like I said, I don't I don't think this company should not be there. This company was trading at right now. Like they have the little issues, but it's a price. You guys know it's when COVID happened, they were still working, right? They are needed. Yeah, Carl is like one thing. Carl, mind you, Carl has been with us from the beginning. One thing, Carl, he sees a beat down stock and he starts warming up his hands. And he'd be like, what's the worst that could happen, right? And it's also common sense. Like all these stocks are not bad stocks. It just happens that they're a little bit down. All right, I'll take a look at that. All right, so let's look at, so we have Target UPS. That's it. That brings us, oh, another one, which this is one I don't understand why it's still trading at this level. I try to use my common sense, right? In common sense, I have not seen people stop going to Starbucks. Even I go to Starbucks a lot. I don't. Like there was a whole, politics with Starbucks and there was drama behind it, right? But I don't, people are saying that fact that I don't see it. So with Starbucks, everything Starbucks needs is 87 reclaim. You guys see that 87? If it reclaims, it opens doors to a $20 move to 107. Let's look. It already did the wick of the zone. Let's look at 6 months. Holding range. But yeah, guys, holding 2027 contracts, guys, trust me. With this market dropping, I have leaps still for Intel, Amazon, AMD. I sold Google. I didn't sell Google. I got stopped out of Google. My husband is still holding Google and he's up like 800%. Ah, stop loss sometimes they help you or sometimes. But hey, it took profits at green, so I'm not mad. That's why I haven't, you guys know that I haven't been talking about Google. I look at Google and I want to cry. I'm like, damn, my leaps. And then Google was the leaps that I was the heaviest on. Like I was heavy. You guys know how I was talking about Google. I was so freaking heavy, and then to see it, I'm like, damn. It took my coins. Not, I mean, I took gains, but it could have been more. All right, so now back to Starbucks, right? Mr. Starbucks, let's go to the monthly. Again, that little cup that is doing bottom, bottom. So this one needs to get past this 98. Watch, I'm going to post his profits on Monday for Google. He's hella up. All right, so right now we're fighting with this bottom. You guys see this bottom? You might not see it here, like all this weekly monthly. To me, it doesn't even look as clean. But the one thing that this is the yearly one, the 87 is the level that nobody's really seeing. And I'm seeing consolidation. You guys see this in. So I know that if this one reclaims 87, not only on the small time frame, it's gonna be a breakout out of the range like Meta did. It will be reclaim of the yearly. And look who's gonna back it up. Divergence. So we could get to 87 to 96 to 107. That's what I got for you guys. Once we get here, then they're gonna give us a hard time. Because this one right here is like a strong MA2. Let me look at it. Oh, it has moved a little from the time I have marked it. Okay, so this one is not the MA. Hey, they're crossing here. This guy's a squeezing price at 87. Yeah. This goes. If this guy gets above here, it's gonna go. And be careful with this little guy if they're trying to be sneaky with it. So I'll say 90 and up. They start squeezing out to 96. Just be careful as a level of error. Keep an eye on this little fucker right here. Right there. Let's make it in green. I don't trust this little candles. All right, that's it. That's it, guys. We have a plate. This is not worth shorting. If you want to short anything, go for something else. Not this. This is not something you want to short. This is something you want to leave alone and you only want to touch for reversal to the upside. This one could also be leaps and this could also be shares. Does it mean that you believe Starbucks the best company in the world? No, but you catching 20% in shares, guys. That's more than what the market, like I said, the market gives you, even S&P 500, they give you what, 6%? Banks give you maybe 4%. You catching 20% on your money with no risk, just shares. And I'll show you guys that account that I grew, the little account from Cash App, that how it got so like to 20, 25, I think that was, or 21, somewhere in there. It was literally buying and selling. I was catching those 20% rallies and I would sell and then recycle that money to a different stock, right? So they add up. Trust me, they add up. All right, so that's Starbucks. Let's look at Exxon, this fucker. It's time. Oh my God. Okay, so let's look at, all right, for Exxon, what matters is not this mess. So what matters is, I actually feel better, guys, talking to you guys, because this is my first time sitting in a chair for more than 30, even 15 minutes. I have not been able to sit in a chair. All right, what matters for Exxon, the truth is the 110. Like the same way we talked about AMD, is a 110. And the 110 is, to the left, a breakout of this. It's a multi 1, 2, 3, 4 years of consolidation, right? So 110 is what matters. If they want to destroy Exxon, I'm still holding leads. If they want to destroy Exxon, 110, 110. End of year, we close above the 110. It was nice knowing you guys. They're probably gonna drop a news about we should acquire the oil from Venezuela or something around there. I don't know. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back to what I posted this week. I posted a meeting Trump had with the Saudis again, and it was not about AI. I believe it was natural resources. Remember, every time Trump meets with the Saudis, it doesn't play out right away. You're gonna see it in the following month or weeks. That's how we call AMD. Remember? That's when I put my 2 cents together. So yes, I gotta go back to my stories and see what the hell I've been posting, because I've been posting I been a market, but no, I haven't been posting a lot. I've been posting a few. I don't know. All right, so now let's go back to Mr. Exxon. Exxon looks like it's getting a beat down from the smaller time frames, but all Exxon is doing is holding a breakout. This week they destroy Exxon to 114 and they bounce right at 114. So you might not see it, but Exxon is holding a breakout. And again, this whole area is the all-time highs for Exxon. The only thing stopping it is this guy, the enemy. This is our enemy. So what are we doing? We're building that. We're getting our money up, right? We're getting all the slingshot, all the buyers are sitting here. And this is the door. This is the support. And we need to get out of here with power to be able to break through 118 and hit the all-time highs. Let's look at the weekly. Look how price, and I told you guys, right? When I saw this bearish engulfing and I talked about Exxon, I said Exxon's gonna come down. I said Exxon's gonna come to 114 and bounce. And what did they do? 114 and bounce. And not only 114 and bounce, look, bottom. So they're coming with strength already at the 114. And they close above. So I see Exxon this week going to 117. I see 118 on Exxon. It's gonna happen. The trend, everything is like aligning to 118. So yeah, past 118, Exxon is gone. And like I said, y'all might not see it, but I see this the yearly, the weekly is telling me a whole story about how it's trying and it's time. And that brings us back to NNE energy. This is something I'm not gonna do the whole TA for this one, but I told you guys that it had multi-year breakout here. It was breaking now. So what I had done, the enemy for this is to the left side, especially this one too. So I went ahead and highlighted the monthly. The monthly's here. The monthly's here, and I said as long as NNE can hold here, it's gonna try to enter the zone to do a breakout to 93. So NNE, I went ahead also the bottom was a weekly, I marked it, and I said as long as NNE dances here, it's good. Look how it finally has closed above. So it means that as long as NNE can hold 95, even with a room of error of 83, because you know how they like to do it, of 83, this is valid as a breakout to 93. If you're holding your shares, guys, congrats. And we've been playing this from the bottom of the barrel. When did I give you guys this? Somewhere in here. All right, guys, we're here. Breakout continue. Okay, so we're done. So now we look at SOSE, and we're done. This is my old chart. All right. So this one, the enemy is this one. Support is 11.35. And look, it whipped it. 11.35. So as long as we can hold here, this can levitate to 16. 16 is a ongoing breakout. Okay. I'm saying alert to top and bottom of the candle. Now I need to go to the weekly to get more price. Hey. All right, so now we have the weekly, right? And this is the monthly. So this is where this should have been marked in green. I like it. As long as this one can hold above here, it could retest the 16. And if you got past 16, you got 18.24, and then skies, you're gonna go for that the average you broke down from. That's it. A retest, if they're trying to play with you, will be here. But I don't think so, because it's coming from here. I think you're gonna go to 16, and then they're gonna play with you like. Then they're gonna go to 16, and they're gonna probably retest this area that we closed within this week. They're gonna ping you down here like Amazon, like this, before you get the power to break through here. Yeah, it sounds good. I'm telling you guys, the energy guys are waking up. I'm telling you guys. Matter of fact, give me a sec. Let me look at my stories. What the hell did I say about them? I'm actually gonna report for them. Let me look at my stories. But that's it, guys. That is all of class. Thank you for joining class. We went over. This is more stocks in the prior weeks because I'm seeing a lot of opportunities for leaps, shares, and reversals. Let me see. Crap. Oh, here we go.
Happened behind closed doors. Elon Musk, Tim Cook, Jensen Huang, and some of the wealthiest billionaires in the world all just went to the White House to meet with MBS and Donald Trump. And this wasn't just your average tech conference, because what's unfolding here is a $1 trillion play that could redefine who controls the future of AI, energy, and global power. MBS is pitching a $1 trillion investment into American infrastructure like EV factories, nuclear energy, and AI developments. And in return, the Saudis get two things they've been wanting for years: American manufactured weapons to bolster up their national defense, and a US-backed nuclear program powered by American tech that will be built in the middle of the desert. So essentially, the deal is an exchange of cash for technology and security, and it seems like a win-win for both sides. For the US, it's a shortcut to the whole America First thing without spending a dime of taxpayer money. Jobs, factories, and critical minerals supply built using Saudi capital. And for MB, good morning.
You heard that, right? Nuclear, energy, natural resources. That's where they're putting the money, not millions, not billions, trillions. So if you want a piece of the pie, y'all better start looking at energy, the nuclears, all of that. I think energy will be big. Yes. Guys, if you guys actually could do the homework for today, right? The homework for today. I might repost a video so you guys could hear it one more time. Start looking at all the stocks that align with what they just said and what stocks we got to start looking at. Because remember, the market had a beat down. So a lot of the stocks, you could find them at a discount right now. Right now, you're going to find them for a discount. Don't buy them when this stock's already like here. You're like, oh my God, I should have listened. She was talking about it. Like MP goes over 63 calls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks consolidation break. Calls. Let me see what else I could think of. I'm trying to do things. Look, 45. If it's in a yearly breakout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons of consolidation. It's being held by 45. We're not far from 45. We're not far from 45, guys. We literally just retested the 50. Open up your ears. Open up your eyes. Who else? Nuclear. Give me nuclear. Richard, Carl, anybody? Oklo. There we go. This one. Set alerts. 11.88. Set alerts. Take it. Take it. Next. Another one. NE. That one's a little more beat down. Let me see. Set alerts. 38. It's with a little double bottom. 38. Next. talent energy. Like I'm charting fast. I'm not even going through like the whole. All right, this one I might have to chart real quick. Let me see. It's just room for error. I'm gonna give it here in red. And if it's above the rate, it's good. There we go. So this whole thing becomes highlighted green. All right, let's go. Let's go. Small time frames. Boom. This one can go actually. It's holding above the yearly. It's bouncing from that green zone. If you break out from here, this one, yeah, matter of fact, here you go. You see that? 400? 400 is clear. This goes. So set alerts. This one's about to cook. Next, Bloom. Guys, anybody, guys, drop any stocks. I'm on Francie right now. Which one is it? This one? Bloom BE? Let me see. Monthly. This one just, guys, this drop, I'm seeing it on everybody. All this drop did to the stocks, they made them retest the breakout. Look at this one, 82. 82. It's a 109, 112. 112 will start going again. Next. Use me and abuse me, guys. There we go. Oxy. Who would have thought all this energy after like not being able to get out from bed? Oxy, I gotta rechart Oxy real quick, but let me just delete this. What's the yearly for Oxy? Let me hold this one right here. That becomes your right. Let me just quickly go through here. 6 months. Oxy, 4 months. 4 months. I'm starting to see here 4 months. All right, so Oxy needs above 55 for it to start going crazy. Yeah, 55 is the key level. Let me keep going to 2 months. It's starting to do this little bottom at the 50 and the 200 main. So this is being squeezed out. Whatever's going to come from the 55 is going to be a multi-rally that's going to lead you to fight with this trend that you've been fighting for. So it makes sense, right? They're going to reclaim this and finally have the power to break trend to go to 112. So price will get doubled. Nice. Set alerts, guys. Alerts are there. Look, trust me. Nuclear and all this thing hits and your alerts are going crazy all at the same time. That means that we're going to get some news. Okay, what is this? This looks funky to chart. But all right. This one, I'm going to draw here. I'm going to draw here. That's the weekly. Weekly, 295. That's what it needs. Next. That's it. Eaton. What are all these stocks? I never heard of that. Okay. What are the famous ones? Where is Chris? Chris is like so updated with whatever's going on Twitter that he knows also those other Twitter stocks that people are trading. This was looking on it's on a yearly breakout actually. This one is breaking out. I'm looking at this to 400, 200. If you're able to crack down from here, 380. There we go. You need to get past 384 to go to multi-year breakout. Since you're at the bottom of the barrel on the weekly, you just need to get past the weekly. So set alerts. This is like coin actually. Set alerts there. And that becomes purple. All right. That's the last one. Okay, I'm tired. The energy is wearing off. Multi-year breakout. Okay. Anytime, guys, anytime. This one's breaking out. It will be a breakout, assume as long as 447 is holding up. Weeklies. Yeah. This is probably gonna go to 500 slowly. Yeah, multi-year breakout. As long as we don't break down from here, you can assume that information. That's it, guys. It was a lot. I know it was a lot. It was a lot, but Remember, the techs are the ones you guys always trade. Y'all know who to short and who to go for calls for, depending how the market wants to behave. You guys have a couple stocks that are safe right now to invest in, like the Targets, the Starbucks. They're boring stocks because they haven't been doing much. But if we do crack those consolidations we're trying to, they're good for just hold and let them be. All right. And also I gave you guys what the sector is about to roll. Well, the money's about to go crazy in that nuclear, that energy department. Everything is needed for AI, guys. The battery, pretty much for AI. We need the energy there. Not only are you investing in AI, you need to understand how is it gonna happen without its energy, right? And if the Saudis are pulling trillions, why y'all not pulling a couple bucks in there too, right? Always follow the money, guys. Follow the money. Get a little piece of the bag that they throw in. That's it, guys. Today was a very, very long class. I'm amazed, like I said, that I was able to talk for this long. That I don't know where the energy came from, but it's a lot of stocks. This is something you're gonna have to rewatch a couple of times to catch on. A lot of them are very far out leaps. This is not like, oh, catch one or two moves. Some of them are, like the techs are good for up and down, but these are leaps, so you could buy it and forget it. All right. Bye, guys. Have an amazing day. I have to give you guys the ETFs video, and we are done for the week. And that's it, guys. Thank you and thank you for the fact that I took Friday off. I never take days off. It's just that it was a short day, and I was like, I'm not feeling well. I was to the Friday afternoons, I was actually able to like get out from the bed. And today is my first day that I can actually sit down for a little longer because my stitches are like in my stomach. And it's not plastic surgery, guys. It was like a cyst, a ovarian cyst surgery. And so it's in my stomach, a couple stitches. So sitting down and talking and laughing or coughing too hard hurts. So yeah, I'm getting back into the scene. See you guys on Monday. Bye-bye.